All right, folks. Thank you for joining. Today, we have a super smart guy and a new but good buddy of mine, Mr. Quentin Dane. He's from Raleigh, North
Close.
Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina. And he has a tremendous team in business there, the Dash Realty Group, right?
Sure, that's us.
So, Quentin and I were talking a little bit before this because that's what you do when you do these kind of calls. And he really got into it. So I'm not going to do a lot of fluff. He has a good story and good business. If you want more information about Quentin, I'm going to ask you for a link to your website and bio and stuff so you can share. But I want to get right into it because you're such a smart dude. And just tell me, number one, Raleigh, is on the opposite side of the country from Sacramento, but what are you seeing in the market right now as far as transactions, leads, all that?
Yeah, so look, our transaction count has stayed really strong. As a team, our last 2 weeks have been the best 2 weeks we've had.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, man, is because the people who had gotten into the home shopping, or for that matter, even selling, primarily on the buy side though, once those people, they're running a race, and if they could see the finish line, they just finished out the race. I mean, I think all of us know this is going to come to an end. There's going to be some normal, call it a new normal after it's all said and done. But we all know we're going to get back to life. So I think a lot of those people just moved forward. They took advantage of this as possibly being a buying opportunity. So we've had a lot of contracts, a ton of contracts in the last 2 weeks. It's that top of the funnel stuff that we're seeing the interaction just different at the top of the funnel. Because normally, they get in and they push that button on Zillow or wherever they come to us from, and those people tend to be ready to go, right? We're getting out, we're seeing houses, meeting them at 102 Main Street, and we start the process. That incubation time is fairly quick. Whereas now we're starting to see the same number of leads coming in, but just maybe a little bit of more of a, let's pump the brakes, right? Maybe taking advantage of a possible virtual showing or a virtual tour, but more so just like window shopping for right now. So I think we're going to see that gap between those people that we had incubated for quite some time, and they saw the finish line. Well, now we're still getting that top of the funnel stuff. It's that middle ground. It's that incubation period. There's where we're seeing our gap right now.
Interesting. Now, I'm sure you have a ton of active listings, right? And we don't need to talk about how huge that number is, but I'm sure it's massive. Have you changed? Well, number one, are most of your listings vacant?
Yeah, most of our listings right now are vacant.
And then what trend are you seeing in showings right now?
We're still seeing, and I would say that, right, that's a great comparison, because when we talk about our vacant versus non-vacant, we are still seeing people come into those vacant, without a doubt. It has been, there's been a drop-off. I mean, everybody's seen that drop-off. I don't know about you guys, but our showing count overall, we're down 70%.
Same.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the ones that are showing vacant.
Yeah. So are you permitting showings, are doing anything extra on the occupied listings? Like, have you gone the extra step of getting a Matterport done on everything, for example?
Yep. And so, we decided to go take this opportunity to really sort of reinvent real estate. I mean, as you talk about, well, a virtual open house. What's a virtual open house? Honestly, right? Like, seriously, I'm sitting here on the internet and I've got two options. One of them says virtual tour, and then another one here says wait till Saturday for a virtual open house. I mean, why the fuck am I going to wait till Saturday? It's pushing a button either way, right? I'm gonna try and do the tour right now, and so we're just sort of putting our spin on what a virtual open house is. And so what we've done is daily we do virtual open houses. We do it from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and we've got a link out there in the interweb where when people are shopping for houses, doesn't matter where they're shopping, it pulls them into one centralized place. And dude, we don't need to be at the house. That's always been our issue to this point, is whether it's a virtual open house or a tour or showing, the buyer is still sitting behind a computer screen. And so if you go out and get a Matterport done, you do a walkthrough tour of it, can't I actually handle more? Instead of me just sitting at 102 Main Street, why not sit in a studio and sit at every house on the internet? And essentially, I'm just an open house agent on duty. And so we've got our agents sitting in there from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and they're just sitting at a computer where now they've got maybe a couple of screens where they can pull up other information and get disclosures out. But when people are coming in, we're Facebook Live. And they're saying, hey, I just came in, I just clicked on 102 Main Street. Can you give me more information about that? Sure can, Bob. Let me get that to you. And then we've got somebody else over here saying, hey, I just clicked the button on 104 Main Street. Can you get me disclosures on that one? Sure. And so we're looking at the virtual open house, not about a specific property. We're looking at it as an event, right? Like we're just hosting a virtual open house. And so a lot of our sellers right now, we're telling them, look, Dash has on a live Facebook Live broadcast daily where we're hosting a virtual open house and marketing all of the Dash properties. And so sellers have really liked that, thinking, well, you're not going to come into my house and do an open house, right? No, I'm not. But daily for 2 hours a day, I've got this 3D Matterport that we put on loop while we can walk people through your house. And I'm going to have you fill out a seller brag sheet. And so when somebody says, hey, I just clicked on 102 Main Street, can you tell me more about it? Sure can. Here, let me get you into, let's go back out to Zillow.com. Let's go through the 3D walkthrough tour. And oh, by the way, as I'm getting into that kitchen, my seller wanted to remind you about that new Bosch dishwasher that they got in there. And so as we're doing the walkthrough, we're really like virtually walking them through and giving them, let me tell you about this house, some of the things the pictures don't show.
Dude. So smart, bro. Of
It's pretty
course.
cool.
That's why I had you on here. It just blew my fucking mind. Wow. That was quick for you to figure that piece out too, man.
Oh, and it's just been spectacular. Like, and we're not getting a ton. It's not like the internet's going, holy shit, a virtual open house, I got to get in on that. But the people who are out looking for houses, because here's the thing, I could never figure out this. Like, Facebook Live, if I see that you're going live, a virtual open house, and I'm not in the market, why am I ever going to even click on that? Like, I don't understand this whole, I should go Facebook Live because I'll get traffic from Facebook. No, I won't. What I'm going to do is get somebody who's clicking a button on Zillow, and there's a link in there that says, talk to a live open house agent between 11 and 1 every day. Well, that I might actually click on. And then it pulls them into that Facebook Live. So we've gotten great response. We're getting, I'd say, between 5 and 10 people a day randomly are just falling into our virtual open house.
Wow. So some kind of link for some form, get their information, and they get notified when the open house is.
No, so we actually have it in the description, agent only remarks or anything that pushes out syndicated. It says, live open house agent, click here. And so we're not even getting the form. They literally can stumble into it just by clicking a link as they're visiting any of these aggregators that market our properties for us. We're making it part of the listing description.
Oh, and it's just a link to Facebook.
Yeah.
It's a link to the Dash's Facebook page. Wow.
Yeah, and so I've got a guy on StreamYard. So StreamYard's who we use, where they log in, and now it's being pushed out to YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and then we were able to, on the back end, get Instagram Live pushed back into StreamYard. And so wherever the heck these people are going, if they see that link or they see that listing description and it says all the amazing things about the house, and then down here it says, click here for a live open house agent, 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, there's no pressure. They can just go in and say, hey, how old's the air conditioner? Well, I've got all that information right here. You got a picture of the air conditioner? Yeah, because we don't put that out on Zillow because pictures of air conditioners don't sell houses. But part of what we have our agents do is when they're going to go put a house live now, we have them get photos of the roof, the air conditioner, the hot water heater, the crawl space. So now we have that at our disposal. When somebody steps in and says, hey, can you tell me more about the stuff that the shit people care about. I mean, yeah, they love all the pretty lipstick on the photos, but if they really are serious about the house, they want to know, can you show me pictures of the crawl space? Can you show me pictures of tell me about the hot water heater or the air conditioner or stuff like that? Well, not only can I tell you about it, I got photos right here. And so what we did is on the back end, we created this dash listing sheet. And that dash listing sheet, it's a portal that our agents log into. And instead of being all the pretty lipsticky stuff about a house, it's the nuts and the bolts about a house. When somebody walks into a real open house, they're looking at the air conditioner and the roof and the hot water heater. I might as well give them that same thing virtually, right?
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Good job.
Cool.
Dude, send me that sheet, that
Yep.
because wow, that's a really good idea. Of course.
And now I can leverage it. I've got one guy sitting at a computer where they're doing virtual open houses everywhere. And once we go back live to where everybody's living again, well, what we're going to do is we're still going to have one person host a virtual open house 7 days a week. And on Saturday, when we've got 20 agents out there hosting physical open houses, we're just going to have them log into our StreamYard. And now it's almost like a broadcast where I'm going live out to 102 Main Street. Let's check in on them. And so anybody who's living in the internet, shopping for open houses, they're coming in and they're seeing us do a broadcast out to all of our agents who are hosting physical open houses if you want to go out there.
So are you guys doing physical opens, or are they still permitted?
Not yet.
Not yet. Because you guys lockdown was recent, right?
Yeah, well, I guess it's been right at the end of March. When did you guys get locked down?
Like the 20th or something?
Yeah, I think we were about a week after you.
Dude, that's really good.
So far, I mean, we've gotten a couple of good leads from it. We don't have anybody who's then gone out and virtually from a virtual open house, not buy that house, but then virtually buy something else. We haven't gotten that yet, but we've got a couple of people in the funnel from it.
So you're not spending money driving traffic to a Facebook event or any of this.
And why would you? I mean, look, why not go where, there was an old adage, right, of, why did the bank robber rob the bank? Well, because that's where the money is. Why should I go spend money over here when everybody's already out at Zillow.com? Why not just link right into there? That's where the buyers are. Let's take advantage of it there.
Bro, brilliant. Like this whole time people are all virtual open house, and the problem I was having, I should have called you earlier and asked you this, was am I going to spend money on like fucking ads and, send it to my database and just, no, you just put it in the description, dude.
Yeah, I sit there and I talk to my wife and I'm like, hey, hold on, honey. Suneet just sent me an email link of an virtual open house he's hosting. Let's cancel all plans on Saturday. Fuck, no, right?
This is, wow, I'm learning a lot right now. I am going to need to like quickly get this one edited and out, because this is like relevant as fuck. How do you like StreamYard? I've heard about StreamYard since being in lockdown, and I'm obviously using Zoom. What do you think about StreamYard?
Yeah, I mean, I did StreamYard. I don't know if you were in that mastermind a couple weeks ago where you saw 7,000 agents. Your buddy Chris put it on, and so that's where I first heard about StreamYard. What I like about it is, when you go on Facebook Live, the comments are at the bottom, and it just sort of looks awkward, whereas StreamYard puts this layer on top of it, and if somebody posts a comment in Facebook Live, it pops up as a banner across the bottom. It just adds a little slickness to it, and it wasn't that expensive either. I think it's worth it.
It records similar to Zoom?
It does. And beauty is it can stream out to multiple platforms, right? So I can go YouTube Live and I can go Facebook Live all at the same time.
And LinkedIn, I think, too.
Yeah, and LinkedIn.
Yeah. I like started to look at it, and then I got distracted by nothing, right?
Right. By the internet. I'm at home.
Yeah. So, dude, that was really good. Really good. I'm going to implement that immediately. So you have how many traditional agents on the team?
Right at 30.
Okay, so we have about a similar size operation for the team.
Yeah.
What are the conversations you're having with them? Because lots of agents still need to be productive, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to imagine that some have probably gone into hiding,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
What are you telling your agents on a day-to-day basis?
I think what we've got to do would be the only thing we can tell them is occupy your time, right? Otherwise, you're going to sit there and you're going to stew. And so the occupy your time, I've implemented this idea of we're moving from Realtor 1.0 to Realtor 2.0. And I don't just mean as an industry with all the iBuyers coming in and all the stuff, but I mean all the way down to the agent, how you are operating. The idea of this virtual open house, thinking, well, maybe there's a different way of how to focus on something. Well, I'm asking my agents to implement that across their entire business, because I want you to walk out of this ready for real estate 2.0. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like. It's going to look different than what it is, but I bet you it's going to look a lot more digital. It's going to look a lot more, um, and it's not that, well, we're never going to lose that personal one-on-one, but you were already good at that. You don't need to hone those skills. You need to hone skills that you weren't so good at. And so we're just really focusing on how do you become a digital agent, and occupy their time, because otherwise they start to go a little batshit crazy. So
Yeah, so how about like prospecting and those kind of activities? Like, what's your advice there for any run-of-the-mill agent across the whole country?
yeah, so again, that we're really big on the idea, and I think us as an industry need to probably head more towards this. It's always a great time to buy, or it's always a great time to sell. No, it's not. It's fucking sometimes it's a horrible time to do either,
Yeah.
right? And so let's try and maybe sort through all the bullshit. Let's try and figure out what the right, because really the ones that are going to succeed, and we know this, we see it every single day, the ones that educate their client to the decision they're about to make. If you can give information that they cannot get on their own, then you're going to be adding value. And once you're a value add, then you're in a good position. And so the idea of getting yourself for prospecting purposes, well, the top of the funnel is still there. Now let's just talk about when they're coming in, instead of saying, oh my God, you should definitely buy a house today, or for that matter, you should put your house on the market in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. Why don't we really start to digitally establish that trust and that relationship? Because if I can get you to trust me, well, then I got you, right? And so the only way I can get you to trust me digitally, especially digitally, because maybe face to face, I have a better chance, right? There's that interpersonal, and maybe even the unspoken people, you can put them at ease face to face, but digitally, man, all you are is just another ad to me. And so I think we've got to get better on the prospecting side, get better at adding value back in, where it's not pushy, it's not necessarily hands off either, because I don't believe in that. We've got to engage them, but we've got to make sure that they're looking at us for guidance, as opposed to for us, me just sitting here peacocking, trying to say, oh, look at my cool Instagram post that said you should definitely buy a house today.
So that's so funny. What about like other team leaders and brokerage owners? Like, what is your advice? I say this every time. This is a selfish question because you're somebody I respect and admire. What's your advice to me?
Yeah, look, and I think you and I are on the same boat here. So we're going to probably say the same thing in unison to everybody else. Get ready for Realtor 2.0. Get your business ready for it. Figure out how to operate in this new environment. And I think I would take this opportunity, if I'm a team lead, if I'm a small brokerage, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's figure out what the future of real estate looks like. I think there were some people that were coming into the business before this pandemic that maybe had sort of figured it out. You talked about some of the virtual brokerages that we all keep hearing about, some of the digital platforms that some of the people had put in. I think the rest of us need to catch up to that, because this pandemic has probably hastened that. Maybe we had a year or 2 years before all of us really needed to catch up to the digital brokerages out there, or the virtual brokerages. I think that's shrunk, or at least we should take this opportunity right now. if I'm asking my agents to figure out what Realtor 2.0 looks like, well, I should figure out what Dash 2.0 looks like.
Dude, good advice. Good advice. Yeah. How about like expenses? Did you lean down on anything?
No, actually, if anything, I've hit the gas pedal because I know everybody else they're going into this entrenchment mode, whereas I know that we should be in an expansion mode. This is every recession is an opportunity for the leaders to take market share.
Yeah.
And this recession was forced upon us, and it's not even a real recession. That's the crazy thing here, right? I mean, our average home our contract price hasn't gone down. We're still getting the top of the funnel stuff. It's just been like a pause. And so if it's just a pause and everybody else is treating it like 2008 all over again, well, shit, I saw what happened in 2008. You saw what happened in 2008. The people who put money into their business in 2008 came out stronger in the end.
Oh yeah.
It's an opportunity for us to do just that. So we're not leaning down. We're staffing up. We're hiring and we're putting money out there.
Yeah, the only expenses that I've really like quadrupled down on is, and you know me, recruiting, right?
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
I've just gone after it. I have 4 different funnels from 4 different people going out at the same time to recruiting.
You're the beacon, dude, right? I mean, I always look, as a matter of fact, we just had a team meeting earlier this morning and I said, look what this guy fucking does. He's good. This is what we need to be doing. It is what real estate, the guys who are going to win, not just spending money right now, recruiting talent and pulling people away and from other places that aren't providing an opportunity. If you've got the green pastures, you need to let everybody know about it right now. And you're the best at it, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. I post those listings every single hour, dude. Yep.
Love it.
Right, because, and Sharon Shavasta, who's a super smart guy, we were talking about, he's all, you're posting listings nonstop and nobody else could get any business. I mean, I listed like 7 properties this week, right? So,
yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm
a realtor out there looking and I go, well, where do you want to go? I want to go where the money is, right? If I'm a bank robber, I want to go to you, dude. You've got the money.
Yeah, exactly. So, fun question. What's the first place you're going as soon as lockdown is lifted?
Oh, fuck. It is going to be, and here's the thing, that's not a fair question because when the lockdown is lifted could be at any point in time, right? So I don't know where I will be, but I will turn left or right to the closest bar.
Yeah,
I'm going to go and belly up with my friends. And so I don't know which bar it's going to be because if it happens at noon or it happens at 5, I may be in different parts of the city, but it's going to be a bar with my buddies.
I was just telling my wife last night, I was like, man, I just want to go to a fucking bar. Like,
right? And I want to watch a basketball game to an empty arena or a baseball game to an empty stadium, but I want to sit there and have a beer with you, my friend.
Yes, hell yeah, man. Well, dude, thank you so much. I've learned a ton. Like I always. So,
anytime.
So send me like your bio and stuff, and we'll put this out ASAP because I think agents need to watch this, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Sounds good.
Thanks, bro.
Bye, pal.